Meet the computer you can talk to. With Copilot on Windows, working, creating, and collaborating is as easy as talking. Got writer's block? Share your screen with Copilot Vision to help spark inspiration, and use Copilot Voice to have a conversation and brainstorm ideas. Or maybe you need some tech help. With Copilot Vision, Copilot sees what you see. Let Copilot talk you through step-by-step guidance so you can master new apps, games, and skills faster. Try now at windows.com/Copilot.
This episode is brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. What do you bring to a holiday party? Simple. A bottle of Casamigos. Because nothing gets the party started like a Casamigos margarita. Which isn't just for summer. In fact, it's the perfect pour all year round. Casamigos is the gift that always feels right. Because anything goes with my Casamigos. Please drink responsibly. Imported by Casamigos Spirits Company, White Plains, New York. Casamigos Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume.
Finished training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
Welcome along to episode 2 of Mutchy and Denno with me, Johnny Phillips. We're recording this just 10 minutes after episode 1 finished recording, so we haven't had any chance, obviously, to enjoy your audience feedback. But if you want to get in touch with the show on Instagram, it's at Mutchy and Denno. You can email us if you've got a really long message. That's mutchyanddenno@outlook.com. And I'm assured we are on TikTok and Facebook by now. You can find us on those platforms. A big thank you to WCRFM. We're here at the Wolverhampton Community Radio Studios at Manda House. And most importantly of all, Mutchy and Denno are still here. Mutchy, how are you?
Very good, Johnny.
Denno?
All good, Johnny, yeah.
Great. Nothing to report since 10 minutes ago when I last spoke to you?
I don't think so, no. I think it's much the same, mate.
Excellent. We're talking this episode, football travels, and in particular, we're going to go with pre-season tours because nowadays they're all off all around the world. Australia, tours of America, Hong Kong, China, whatever it might be. What was it like in the late 1980s going on tour with Wolves?
Well, I think in our time, really, Johnny, it was obviously we had a break. We had a decent break most summers, hadn't we? We got maybe 8 weeks, 7-8 weeks break. So you basically went away, got on fit a little bit, and then come back and got fit again. That's really how we looked at it. Now that's a bit extreme the way I'm saying that, but nowadays they don't get the opportunity to become unfit at all. You know, a lot of them are playing through the summer, so the tours that they're going on, they're basically ready to go and do what they have to do. But whenever we went away on any sort of a tour, it was mainly to break up the pre-season, really. You know, we'd have come back, maybe had a couple of weeks around Wolverhampton and stuff, done a few hills, done a lot of running, and then the gaffer would have organised somewhere to go away. We went to Anglesey, I think it was the first couple of seasons, whenever they probably old 4th and 3rd. Chris Evans, who worked for the club at the time, I think he organised it down there. He was working down there, and he organised the trip. Yeah, he was part of the way. But we went down there, trained hard, but we were able to have a beer together as well, and as a group, knitted this together as a group. But in all fairness, we did train hard. You know, when the gaffer put on running sessions in the sand dunes and all that sort of stuff, you made sure that you were physically capable of doing it, and that was a big thing, coming together and having the crack. Yes, in pre-season, but also working hard to get ready for the new season.
Good for the quads, were they, sand dunes, Mutchy?
Oh, I loved them. Really loved them up and down them hills, you know. I couldn't dream of doing anything better. We went all over the place. We went to Scotland, Wales and Ireland. It's quite good, wasn't it? All these foreign trips, we didn't see many of them. We did some in the latter stages. Anglesey, we went up to Scotland. We stayed at Dunblane Hydro there. We had a couple of games of golf, but mostly in pre-season. It's hard work and training in it and getting yourself in as best conditions you possibly can for the start of the season. But the gaffer now and again, he used to say you can have a couple of drinks, which we usually said no and then changed our mind and decided to have a drink, you know, which was good fun. I remember one night we were in the hotel and 4 Scottish couples checked out because we were making too much noise because we'd had a couple of quiet ones, you know what I mean? And I sneaked into Laurie Madden's room and also Derek Mountfield's.
They were rooming, were they?
They were rooming in different rooms, as it happens. So
That's
when
got to be the oldest room partnership. Well, they were
it
late
would have been,
30s,
yeah,
weren't they?
yeah, but they were in separate rooms, as it happens.
Oh, okay.
So I sneaked into Laurie's room and I just put a ring of toothpaste round his pillow. So when he sort of rolled over, and then I went into Derek's room and I just stuck a bit of toothpaste in his ear and just sneaked off. Anyway, when we come down for breakfast, Laurie Madden goes, Mutchy, you're so immature, to me. And I went, all right, Laurie, sorry, mate. Right, and laughing because he obviously knew it was me. And then Derek comes downstairs and he puts his finger in his ear and he goes, still working, Mutchy, still working. From the Colgate advert.
Were tours just about bonding in those days, Denno, or a bit more than that?
Partly bonding, yeah, but also getting fit. The gaffer enjoy getting away for a couple of days, I must admit it. But it breaks up the monotony of doing the same things, being in Wolverhampton all the time, running around the track, running up the hills in Wolverhampton. It was just always nice to break it up. You would have gone away, you'd have played again against the locals or whatever, and had a bit of crack with it, trained hard at the time. We went to Sweden a couple of times as well.
That's all right.
It was actually that was the last couple of seasons. You were there probably, Mutchy.
Yeah, we went
to Sweden.
It was decent. Brecker.
Was it Brecker? Yeah.
Yeah, we flew into Sundelsval, right, and then we stayed in an
this?
area called Brecker, right, which was in the absolute middle of nowhere. It was a hotel and nothing else. And we used to travel about 5 hours to play friendlies. It was unbelievable. It was that big.
Me?
That's the honest truth. And we couldn't believe it. They'd arranged this. And it became Sport Billy, where we were playing tennis, table tennis. We were doing anything we could possibly to stop the boredom because it was that much of a nightmare. So Sky had only just come out then.
Was it just you were so remote in the middle of nowhere?
In the middle of nowhere. It's
like
called
The Shining.
Brecker. So, oh, God, it's worse than that, I'm telling you. One night, Billy Wright came on the tour. One night, the gaffer said, you can have a few drinks and go in the... So we all ended up in Shane Wesley's room. Once a few drinks were done, and it was like Eurosport was then. So there was nothing much on. We had a bit of Eurosport.
Yeah.
We put a bit of MBT music, so we listened to a bit of that. Next minute, there's a knock on the door. And we went, who's that? So we opened up, and Billy Wright standing there with his pyjamas on. Honestly, striped pyjamas. And he says, listen, lads, I'm next door to you. I'm just trying to get some sleep. You couldn't keep the noise down, could you? And Shane Wesley went, shut up, Bill, or different words, if you know what I mean, because he'd had a few. Billy walks off he goes. We get up in the morning for breakfast, and we see him walking in the room, and we're all going, oh, no, he's going to absolutely tear strips out of us now. And he walked straight up to us, as Billy was, and said, sorry about that, lads, he said. I was just trying to get my head down and get some sleep. And we were laughing like mad.
What a gentleman.
But, so don't get me wrong, we're there for 10 days, and for 8.5 days of them, we're training like mad. The heat was unbelievable. Remember all them bites you got on your legs? Oh, because there's water everywhere, midges all over the place.
We're near the lakes,
weren't we? Yeah.
And if you went out at night at all, you got bit. You put a pair of shorts on, you got bit. It was horrendous. But also, I think it was only 2 hours darkness as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would have been light all night.
There was hardly any darkness, which is really the strangest thing. You felt yourself getting to sleep for a couple of hours and then waking up 3 o'clock in the morning. It was bright outside. It was really strange, like the whole thing. But I remember we went to play a friendly at another place, which was about 3 or 4 hours away.
Oh, miles away.
We ended up after the game. We went into this local side that we played, took us into this club, right, to give us a meal, right. So we're there. We finished the game 6 o'clock. We're in having a meal. And the chairman, Jonathan, sir, with the gaffer and all, and he said, listen, we're off at 8 o'clock, right? We're out of here. Right, so the boys going, okay, so we had a couple of drinks, and then they opened the door to this place. It's a nightclub, right? Bar nightclub. They opened the door to this place, and obviously every girl that walked in the place was absolutely stunning, right? I think we left the place at about 1 o'clock that night, right? Because the chairman didn't want to leave, right? And the gaffer had no stories to tell, but the chairman, everybody just wanted to stay then and have the crack then,
It was a casino, wasn't it? Remember?
Yeah, but
it was a casino, it was.
It was such an amazing place, Sweden, but it was... But I think the chairman was giving all the lads money just to buy a few drinks to keep them there.
I got the bus home, me. As soon as them doors opened, all them girls were going in, I just got the bus home.
Not you.
And I seen him in the morning. I said, I'll see you when you get back, lads.
Obviously, you're not going to get recognised in Sweden. When you're touring in Scotland and Wales and Ireland, are you pretty much left alone when you go out?
Yeah, in the main, yeah. When we were in Scotland, actually, West Ham were there, weren't they?
Yeah.
Right, so we had a bit of a crack with their lads, you know what I mean? And it was nice that there was another team there, so we'd swap stories and have a bit of a chat and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But in the main, you weren't bothered from anyone, were you?
No. I think Bully would have been the only one at that time that was recognised a little bit. But the rest of us, you're talking about the third and fourth division and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So people in Scotland or whatever, they maybe knew Office or whatever, but they didn't know what we looked like. So it was great.
If I say to my mates anyone's name, they don't say who, Robbie who, they say. And you know what I mean? They just don't know, you know what I mean?
It's nice in a way, though, to protect your anonymity. Because even though it's a different game now and the levels are off the scale, you could pretty much enjoy a night out unbothered, unrestricted. And that has its benefits.
That was brilliant. Honest to God, that was the best thing. I used to go and play golf with my mate in Portugal, in Vilamora. I met Wayne Biggins one day. And
the old Stoke striker.
Striker, yeah. And I didn't really know him, but he was just happened to be walking past with his wife with the pram and all that. And I was standing outside the door of this bar. And he went, all right. I said, all right, fella. So we just started having a nice, brief chat. Anyway, halfway through the chat, I suddenly said to him, Wayne, I says, I'm not being funny, I says, but I've got to go now because I'm on stage now. And I was doing a song on stage with this band, you know. If you did that now, you'd be pulled through the... wouldn't you? You couldn't move. But there was no mobile phones, there was no nothing. So you could virtually just enjoy yourself just like anyone, everyday person type thing without getting any hassle.
But even after the games and stuff, Johnny, we were going down to local bars with the Wolves fans. And, you know, and if you lost the game or whatever and you didn't play it particularly well, you were told about it, you know. If you did reasonably well, they patted in the back and maybe got a pint out of it. So there was always that connection with the fans. They didn't really pester you. You were able to do your own thing or whatever. But there was always that connection with the fans, which was always good in our time because social media scenario wasn't really around at that time, was it? You know,
no,
so you were able to just enjoy yourself.
That's a good point. I think it's really tough for players these days. I know they get all the trappings of life and they're sort of, you know, 1 or 2 contracts and they're made for life. But I think mentally, for their mental health, it can be a brutal world now. I think social media in general is quite brutal, certainly certain platforms. To have that sort of contact, that actual physical contact with supporters, even if they were questioning some of your performances, it feels just so much more pleasant and decent in a way.
Just to diverse a little bit, but when I had my testimonial season at Wolves, it was in Graham Taylor's time. The committee organised that there was 10 signed shirts go to local pubs in Wolverhampton. Right, so we played Bradford City at home, one of the games on the Saturday. We were flying, absolutely flying, and Bradford were poor side. So I'm due to go down to the goalpost now, I'm not sure what it's called now. I'm due to go down with the committee boy straight after the game to present the jersey raffle, right, signed shirt. We lose the game 1-0, we were booed off, so I've come out of the change rooms and I've gone, I'm not going down there. I'm not going down. I can't go down there because I'll get absolutely lynched, right? So anyway, he says you have to go. Walked into the goalpost and they're hanging from the rafters. They didn't even know there was a game on, you know, right? Hanging from the rafters, right? So I've gone in, right? An hour and a half later, I've had 4 or 5 pints of Guinness and I'm singing Danny Boy on the karaoke. Brilliant. Right? That's after losing to Bradford at home and I'm 50 yards from the ground. Now, social media now, would the lads even want to do that? You know what I mean?
They didn't know Danny Boy though, did they?
But could they do anything like that? You know, could they have that connection with the fans after games or whatever? Because all of a sudden someone would take a photograph, it'd be on social media and then they would get absolutely slaughtered. So it kind of works both ways. Johnny, you know, the players might like to do more of it, but they're very sort of standoffish because of what the consequences.
They're isolated, aren't they? They are isolated. You know, they get ushered into the ground, they get ushered out of the ground, and they're on the travels wherever they go, and they live where they live. So obviously, I suppose team spirit might be good in the respect that they get together as families to sort of have enjoyment together, if you know what I mean. But I don't particularly think being as isolated as that is so enjoyable, I suppose, where the Wolves fans, like any fans, if you don't win, they're not happy and they'll have a little pop at you, but they love you the next minute, you know, because you're their team, and that's how it rolls. Because you look at it now, right across the board, there's so many foreigners that play in England, but Wolves supporters don't give two monkeys who's playing for them as long as they're representing the team properly. It doesn't matter what country they come from. So that's how it rolls. So I don't think I'd have enjoyed playing in this era for that reason alone. To be amongst the lads I was with, and we had the banter together. Make no mistake, all this joking we do about having a few bevies and all this, right? We worked so hard together as lads. We worked so hard for each other. We protected each other. We were on each other's side. All them type of things that go into the ingredients, I suppose, of being a decent side when we were a decent side. The isolation of today, I'd find that very hard.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Because I think one of the successes of Nuno's team was the fact that the overseas players were almost better than the homegrown players at getting together and having get-togethers. You know, Ruben Neves used to invite the likes of Cody, Doc, and then obviously all the Portuguese players round his house and cook a meal and the rest of it. And then when they started having families, and it became a big family time as well. Doc, I know he's spoken at length about, you know, how welcoming the Portuguese players were into his house, and that sort of, I guess, replaces the sort of drinking and pub culture that you might have enjoyed. And I suppose we chatted about this in the last episode when it comes about leadership and all the rest of it. For the current Wolves team, and for lots of teams, where do the players get that bonding, and where do they get that feeling as if they owe it to each other to perform?
Well, exactly what you said there, John. They get together, don't they? You know, in houses, and have meals together, share family life together with the kids and all that. We still did that to a degree, you know, in the respect we got together with the wives and that and all that jazz.
Well, I couldn't invite you all around because the house wasn't big enough.
Exactly, definitely, yeah. He only let us come in one at a time, you know what I mean? You had to go in, right? You had 20 minutes and you went out the back door then, and then the next one come in, you know what I mean? It's brilliant. Yeah, so...
But I think all the bonding and all and togetherness comes with a couple of things. Obviously, you get on well personally with people, but also results on the pitch as well.
Winning,
and how you're doing on the pitch and playing together, that's a massive part of it. So that all takes a little bit more time, but you eventually get there. Most football lads are good in scenarios where they've got a group of lads around them and enjoy the banter. Most of the lads are like that. Just bringing more out depends on results and how successful you are, I think.
No, that's a really good point.
Do you know the funny thing is, John, right? I hadn't spoke to Vino for years and he's been in the game.
Mark Venus
for years and years. And then me and Robbie were together here in Wolverhampton at some duo golf, or we were doing a do together, I can't remember what it was. And one of his pals told us that his wife had passed away. And we went, oh my God. Anyway, he gave us his number. And I just didn't have the bottle to ring him up, right, to say, I'm so sorry what's happened, Mark, you know. This was immediately after, obviously. And then about 3 months later, I was dwelling on it in my head, and I thought, and I was trying to push myself. I said, well, I just rang him. I said, all right, Vino, lad. He said, oh, Mutchy, how are you, lad? Yeah. So he was working for Tony Mowbray somewhere at the time, wherever it was. They'd been round a few clubs, haven't they? The first thing he said to me, whatever he's ever done, he says, it's not like it was it, Mutchy, lad? That's the first thing he said to me. It was amazing. And I was going, you bang on, because what he was saying to me straight away, all the experience, the fortune he's had where he's been alongside Tony and he's taken him everywhere, managing at Celtic and West Brom and wherever else he's been. Vino's first opening gambit to me was, it's never been the same as it was. Meaning, whatever experiences he's had, it wasn't like it was when we did what we did in our day, as players were saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the way the world's changed and times change, hasn't it? But it does. It's like the young kids of today, right? Failing pubs is because kids from 20 to 30 don't go in the booze and have a pint now. When we were 20 and 30, the thing you did was go to the booze and have a pint, and it's social, really.
I think there's a lot of sort of fear around camera phones, social media, without sounding like dinosaurs. When we were younger and drinking, there was no danger of a photo popping up on social media of the state you were in back in those days. So I think there's probably more anxiety for a lot of young people and for footballers as well. More anxiety,
more exposed.
Well, in our time, you read the newspaper to see what people thought of you, or you listened to the radio, phone-ins on a Friday night or whatever, wherever it was. But after a while, you realise, yes, you did it when you were younger and all that sort of stuff, but after a while, you realise that you know exactly how you played on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. You know whether you
yeah.
actually played well or didn't play well. You didn't need someone to tell you just because there's a certain scenario you lost the game and they need to pick on someone. You know exactly how you played, so it's up to you then to sort out what you need to sort out in your own head. And reading the newspapers or listening to the radio or being on social media as it is now doesn't do you any good, really, because you're going to only get opinions on someone doesn't like it or someone does like it, but you know personally what you're doing within the game and what you're doing right and doing wrong. So
Well, that's it.
and you learn that from experience.
Well, that's true, yeah. I was lucky because I I couldn't read and I didn't have a radio.
And you never had a bad game either.
Never had a bad game either, you know.
So, did you genuinely read the old Express and Star match reports? Did you?
At the
David
start,
Inston?
yeah.
Was it David Inston or was it
David Instone mainly, yeah.
Was it David at the time?
David Instone,
But whenever I was 16, 17, 18, I was reading, the Sunday People, the Northern Ireland Sunday People back there, and you were always getting marks out of 10, and you thought you'd done well some week, and then all of a sudden you open the paper and someone gives you 5, you know what I mean? You want to go out and find them, you know.
Yeah.
But then you realise, Sonny, that it's just and a quick story on that. I remember playing at Cliftonville one day, right in the change rooms before the game, and there used to be 2 reporters that used to come and do the games over in Northern Ireland, Alex Toner and Paddy Toner, you called them, real characters around the place, right? But this is before the game. I'm getting my kit on, and they're reporting on the game for the papers, right? I'm getting my kit on, right? And the 2 boys walk in with the phone that you used to plug in, and they've gone to Cliftonville all the time for all the home games, and they can't find their way to the press room because they're so drunk, right? They're so pissed, right? They could not find their way to the thing. And I looked at them, I was only 17, 18, and I looked at them and I went, those boys are reporting on me for the game tomorrow. They can't even find where the press room is, you know what I mean? And
He gave you 9 out of 10, didn't he?
9.5.
I don't know what you think. Are they the most arbitrary, pointless things ever? But when I was a kid, we used to open up the paper and we used to devour those ratings, player ratings. Mark Venus 7, whatever it was. Paul Cook 8. And then now they're still doing them, like 30, 40 years later. And apparently, I've been told that you get the biggest clicks on the newspaper websites for the player ratings. And the idea that I'm sort of having a go at my own profession a bit here, but the idea that we're qualified to sit on the stand and just pick a number out, and that's how well you played. What do you make of player ratings?
But they believed it, didn't they? The public believe it. That's why they do it.
But did you pay attention to them?
Of course you do, yeah.
Yeah?
You do because...
I did at the start. And then you realise that you actually know yourself, whether you're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. It doesn't really matter. So that's what you find out in your own head.
Yeah,
but you do at the start. You read them at the start.
And I think realistically, if a scout goes to a match and a scout will be there not to watch all 11 players, a scout goes to watch 1 or 2 players. If you'd have asked me to sit down and watch a match and the entire Wolves team are playing, can you give Mutchy and Denno a mark out of 10? I could say I could probably do that and might be have a go. Can you give all 11 players a mark out of 10? No chance, because you can't be watching all of them, their whole performance all game long. It's almost like, I don't know, because I've never had to do the ratings. I reckon there's probably 3 or 4 players, whoever's doing the ratings thinks, yeah, I'm fairly solid with that. And then the rest of them, they haven't really got much of an idea.
You know more than us, Johnny. You know more than us, honestly.
Well, the thing is, if I was watching the game, right, the people who would excite me would be the ones who get the crosses in, shots in, the attacking side of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if I look at the defensive side of things, I wouldn't be sure if the right back is defending well or the centre half's doing the right thing, blah, 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 right? So I would be looking at him thinking, I'll give them all 6 in the back for you. So it is an individual just having an opinion on 11 players. Yeah. But you'll pick another individual doing the same thing, and they'll have a different opinion on most of those players.
Exactly.
So that's what football's all about, really.
Did you ever get a 9, and did you ever get anything 3 or below? Can you remember?
No, I've never got a 3, Johnny, no.
I did get quite a few 9s.
Did you get a few 9s, did you?
No.
Bully must have got a 10, didn't he?
Bully got 11. Bully got 11. Honestly,
did he? Yeah.
Unbelievable. I said I thought it only went up to 10 this.
The thing is, if you score a goal in the last minute, hardly had to kick all the game. I'm not talking about Bully here, then win the game for someone, then you are going to be...
Anyone,
more. I looked at them a little bit, but it didn't...
If you win 3-0, all the home side that's won 3-0 get good scores, don't they? If someone scores a goal, he got a good score. And that's how it went. But the people who were writing it, really deep down... didn't have a clue, did they?
I think it's too hard for a reporter on any match to be asked to give a mark out of 10 to all 11 and maybe even the subs. I just think it's ridiculous. You wouldn't send a scout to a football match to watch 14 players from one side.
Or maybe it's too easy just to put 11 numbers down. Just look at it that way.
Just talking about Dave there, Dave Instone.
Yeah.
Because everybody...
What a servant to the local media he was, by the way.
Brilliant man.
If anyone doesn't know, he looked like Richie Cunningham, didn't he, off the Fonz? if anyone listening remembers that programme.
He still does a great website called Wolves Heroes, and there's 2 or 3 articles in there every week. I'd send everyone to wolvesheroes.com. It's a great read.
But really, whenever I first joined the Wolves and stuff, right, obviously he was writing in the paper all the time and making his comments on how you played and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't like a couple of things, so I just mentioned to him a couple of times. Didn't fall out about it, right?
Yeah.
Just mentioned to him. I was like, what do you mean by that? Blah, blah, blah. Right, but then we're playing cricket at Milford, pre-season thing, right? So we've had a game of cricket at Milford, and I'm all right at the cricket, like, so hit one back over the bowler's head, over the top of the pavilion. There was a smash. Dave Instone comes walking around the corner, broke his windscreen of his car, right? I must admit, I had a bit of a smile. I've had loads of smiles with him ever since, you know what I mean? And loads of laughs about it, like, but I couldn't have picked a better car. I didn't mean to do it, by the way.
But you deny you didn't mean to do it. But you knew his registration number and everything, didn't you?
It was behind the pavilion. I couldn't see it.
You could see round
But it
corners,
was quite,
Robbie.
it was quite funny whenever he walked round the corner and said it was his, you know. So.
You lobbed a 6 into David Inston's windscreen.
Bit of karma. Was it a bit of karma? Is that what we call it?
Karma is
Yeah.
the
thing, is it? Yeah.
You've used that word correctly.
But he's a good
like
man.
the golfing
He's a good
gods,
man.
isn't it?
He's great.
Yeah.
He's
He's a good
great,
man.
and I know he became ingrained in the fabric of the club, covering them at such a time as well. And the access was better in those days as well. I imagine he could just approach you at the training ground, get your home phone number or something, and just give you a call.
If he could find us where we're training, because we didn't know where we were going to train every morning. We were
He did well doing that.
We were told where we were going as soon as we got to the place. Like.
Yeah. We're here. Oh, are we?
Go on then. What training grounds did you have? I knew that you had the race course. You had Castlecroft, obviously, and then famously the car park. But where else were you?
What was that hockey place? There used to be
One hockey.
You can only train on half a pitch, honestly, because
Really?
the hockey pitches were next to it, and the size of it next to that was the size of half a football pitch. So all we were allowed to train on was that part. It was unbelievable. The only good thing about that place was there was this old couple called Jack and Olive, right?
Yeah.
And they used to come down.
Jack and Olive car.
Yeah. And they used to come down and make us beans on toast and all things like that, you know what I mean? Which, at the start of it, all right, we wouldn't get a skin off a rice pudding, would we? You know what I mean? So it was brilliant. And they were really... And I think Jackie lived with them, didn't he? Jackie Gallagher.
Oh, Jackie.
When he came
Jackie
from Peterborough. Well, he lived with a lot of people, Jack, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Who fixed the boat, Jackie?
But he was funny. Going back to that when we were abroad, when we got in that Sherpa Van final, we actually went to Magaluf. And that's when we realised the gaffer liked going away for a few days because he kept coming out with his sunglasses on, didn't he? To hide his eyes from his drink, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So one day we've gone down to this bar just at the end where the hotel is, and we're all sitting there having a drink. And Jackie was dry as anything. And next minute he walks in and goes, "All right, lads." And we were, "All right, Jackie." He said, "Have you seen that hotel there where we are?" I said, "Yeah." "Have you seen all them cats, them wild cats that are running around?" And we all looked at him like that. He says, "And one of them was digging a hole." And one of the lads went, "That's what they do when they go in the toilet." And Jackie went, "What? With a shovel?" Didn't he? He was mad, and you laugh like so much.
He was such a character.
Jackie Gallagher.
Yeah.
He had the best song. We'll cover songs in a different episode, but he's fat, he's round, he's worth $1 million. It's Gallagher.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I actually don't think Jackie ever travelled back in the coach, did he?
No.
Wherever you went to, whether it was Carlisle or Torquay to play a game, Jackie knew someone in Torquay where he was going to stay the night with, or Carlisle he was going to meet his mate and stay the night. And every
Someone
time
in
the
every
coach
port.
pulled out of the car park, Jackie was there with his bag, just walking to
He
the
was from
train
Whiz
station.
Beach, wasn't he? Whiz Beach, near
He's
Peterborough
a
somewhere.
great lad, Jackie. Great
That's
lad.
amazing. So he'd always fix someone up around the away match
He always
calendar.
listen, Jackie knew everybody. He was
Man management he was, I tell
he
you.
was fantastic.
Wasn't
man.
he?
He was a great bloke.
Brilliant. He was still playing until very recently as well, still turning out for the Wolves All-Stars, former
I
players
saw him
team.
about.
Was he?
Yeah.
But Johnny, when you say playing,
Well-
I watched him about. I think it was down Bilston about 12 months ago.
Did you give him marks out of 10, did you?
Do you know what? It's good crack, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watching the lads and all that, but Jackie wasn't moving that well, mate.
Was he not?
No, he wasn't moving the best.
Couldn't do 25 miles, could he, today walking? You know what I mean?
He's a funny lad, mate. He's just a dry lad. He's a really good lad. Really good lad.
That's amazing. So what else happened in Magaluf? And to bring it back, we're going to finish up in a minute. We're going to finish with a Wolves quiz this episode, by the way.
Oh,
but to
right.
bring it back to tours, you never mentioned Magaluf before the Sherpa Van Trophy final. When
Yeah, it was just...
any good?
Oh, it was great. We went out there. We were on it, focused, because we got, obviously, the final and all that. And it was just a little bit of sun or whatever before. So we went out there and did a bit of training. Obviously, we had a couple, but we didn't go mad. You know what I mean? Like we might have done in other places, if you understand what I mean. But we went away. Where did we go once? Where the gaffer said we're going? Oh, it was Lanzarote. He said we're going to Lanzarote, and we said no, we don't want to. He says no, we're going. And we went to Lanzarote, and it was this sports complex, wasn't it? Remember? And they had the 50-metre swimming pool where they all used to go, the swimmers, and train and all that. We were playing Bolton in the FA Cup, and we flew back on the Saturday, and we played him on the Sunday. Anyway, we were absolutely about 3 yards off, and we got beat 2-0 at home. I'm sure we got beat 2-0. It was a big cup game.
Yeah.
And it was definitely the gaffer's fault, that, because he made us go to Lanzarote. But
We took some forcing sometimes, didn't we?
he didn't force us to drink, I must say. But, he didn't do that, I must admit that. But we actually genuinely, we didn't want to go because we knew if we were going out there together, all the lads together, what do you do?
I wasn't at the Magaluf one because I was playing for Northern Ireland in that summer. I had a game for Northern Ireland. But Ollie tells a story about Jackie taking on, he bumped into the Burnley players, wasn't it?
That's right. I've heard this. And did it end up in?
It was a drinking competition, right?
Yeah,
No, I don't
it
think
was a drinking
I thought there was a
competition.
prison cell involved.
Well, I'm not
and
sure about
Floyd's
that
drink.
one.
Robbie, there's
No,
kids
but-
listening to this. You know.
Go on then.
Hey.
Well, the story Ollie tells, right, is that the Burnley lads and Ollie said to him, having a few drinks with the Burnley lads, and Ollie says to him, well, we'll have a bit of a drinking competition. So they pushed Jackie forward to represent Wolverhampton Wanderers, you know what I mean? And it was just, I think Jackie just absolutely smashed the whole thing, you know what I mean?
There's only one winner anyway.
Beat Burnley, and then Ali tells the story that whenever they're in the tunnel at Wembley,
Yeah.
Ali turned around to the skipper of Burnley at the time. He says, "We smashed in the drinking. Now we're going to smash you out in the park." So whether that's true or not,
I heard Jackie enjoyed that pre-Sherpa Van Trophy tour to Magaluf, and I did hear there was a jail cell involved, but maybe
I didn't hear that. No, did you?
maybe not.
I
Maybe
think-
that was another tour.
I think sometimes you have to pass on things like that.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
I think so. But I don't think Johnny was far off there, if I'm honest.
Right.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, okay.
But, you know.
We're going to finish the episode with a Wolves quiz. But you're going to have to, I'm not just going to give you the answers, you're going to have to write them down, and then the listeners are going to play this quiz as well. So write the answers down. There's only 5 questions. We've not thought long
Okay.
and hard about this.
Okay.
So the first question, who did Mutchy go on to manage after his playing career finished?
Don't know myself.
In the Northwest. Non-league club in the Northwest.
There's a few, John.
Who's the first one?
The first one I managed in the Northwest was Vauxhall Motors.
Right. So who was it?
I think it was, anyway.
Okay. So that's question 1. Who was the first club that Mutchy managed? Question 2. Who did Denno go out on loan to during his time at Wolves? I never realised this. Everyone
I know
thought Denno just played for Wolves and that was it. But he actually went out on loan. So who did Denno go out on loan to? Can you write
And
this
you
one down?
know, yeah, I do, yeah. I remember that.
I know as well.
And you
All right,
know,
we'll write it down.
do you
Right,
know who
don't be giving clues with yet until after this quiz.
Go on.
It's
Don't
not a
be
clue,
giving
really.
well, it is.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I think it is. What
Do
you're
you
going
think
to
it
say.
is?
Yeah, I can read your
Don't
mind.
even know
Rob.
the answer.
I can read your mind, Rob. You know that.
Right, question 3. You scored, you set one up. Who did Wolves get promoted against in Division 3? They got promoted to the 2nd Division. What was the game that got them promotion? Who did they play?
Robbie scored, did he?
Robbie scored, you set one up.
Well, that was par for the course, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good cross, mate. It was a great cross, mate.
Thanks, Rob.
Left foot.
You know.
Have you got the answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, question 4. Name the names of all 4 stands during that promotion season.
Stan Laurel.
During our first
During your
promotion
time,
season?
yeah. So during it was the second one, 88, 89. It was the same in 87, 88. Name the 4 stands.
Of the old ground you're talking about,
Yeah, the old ground, not now.
Oh, the 4 stands.
Yeah, what were they called?
I thought you said the 4.
It
The 4 stands. I put Stan Collymore as my
Laurel,
first answer. I was going to put
Colours.
Paul Stancliffe. The 4 stands, right.
Name the 4 stands.
What era are we talking about this?
It's 88, 89.
Oh, got 'em all.
It's the old ground.
When
mate.
you played, yeah. Name what the 4 stands were called. The last question, we did mention him in the previous podcast. Who was the last person Wolves signed in the transfer window? Who's the most recent Wolves signing?
What does first name do?
It depends. If it's a tie break, it might get you over the line. So they're the 5 questions. There's a point for every answer. You need all 4 of those stands. Right, are we ready? Can we do some marking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Mutchy might have given this away to the
think
sharp listeners.
Oh, right.
Well, he
Who's
actually
the
said
first-
the answer, so.
Who's the first team Andy Much managed?
I couldn't even remember.
Vauxhall Motors.
Vauxhall Motors, yeah.
Well done. Denno, who did you go out on loan to?
Swansea.
Swansea City.
And I was actually rooming with Frank Lampard.
No way.
That's what he was going to say.
Right, come on. Let's
That's what it's-
tell us the story.
Story is, he was at West Ham at the time.
Yeah.
And he was sent out on loan as well to Swansea.
Right.
So we had 2 months down in Swansea, in the Hilton in Swansea.
Oh, that
I
one
was-
on the
I was-
front.
The Gower.
I don't know where it was, but we were just I was travelling back and forth.
Was the sea there, was it?
training. It was a nice area, actually.
Was the sea there
I
when you
like
looked out the
Swansea,
hotel
it's a
window?
great-
No,
Well, it wasn't the Gower then. All right.
no.
The Gower's a bit further on. But yeah, Swansea
stayed
is,
there. We
Swansea
stayed
is the
there a few
Mumbles Bay. Beautiful.
But he, I taught him a couple of
Wombles.
things. I taught him a couple of things at the time, how to
Score.
delays runs into the box,
Yeah.
to make sure you get on the end of crosses,
Yeah.
and also penalties.
How to
Taught him how to
put a
take
penalty
penalties.
away.
So I'm probably down for 200 of those goals.
Love that. Love that.
But he did. But the other thing is as well, Johnny, which he wasn't happy about, in the book that he's written, he calls me a cynical old pro.
A cynical old pro.
Yeah. So it's still in the hands of the lawyers, right? So whenever that comes to fruition, then I'll let you know, right?
Yeah.
Cynical old pro.
It'll be a long wait, that, I tell you.
But the thing was, I wasn't old at the time.
That's the point, yeah.
Question 3. Who did Wolves get promoted against in 88-89?
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United.
Yep.
Well done, lads. Can you name all 4 of the stands back in those days?
Yeah.
Go on, go for it.
The John Island stand,
Yeah,
the North Bank,
yeah,
the South Bank,
yeah.
and the Waterloo Road stand.
Very good.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Got
Yeah,
all 3, mate.
yeah.
But there was 4 of
You
them.
wanna-
He said, I got all 3, mate, but there was 4. yeah.
I got all 4.
Yeah, he's definitely Irish. Here we go.
Right.
There's only 3 sets in this one.
Have you both got everything right so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've not got the last one.
So
Oh, well, I've got his first name.
go on.
Tolo.
And have you got nothing?
Nothing.
So
That's a half point.
Denno wins it with his half point.
Yeah.
It's Tolu Arakadari, I think, but then don't take my word for it.
He's cheating here. He scribbled out Northwich, right?
Yeah,
Who I did manage,
yeah.
and he's put Vauxhall Motors.
He did that when you were given the answer.
How
Did
do you know?
question?
How do you know?
No, I
Are you on Robbie's side?
You
here,
did
or-
manage. You did manage Northwich as well, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Was that his
there you
second
go.
one?
And Burscough
And Bursko.
and Stafford Rangers.
Oh, did you?
I was a good
So-
manager.
Oh, yeah.
Put me neck.
Oh,
Hey.
was that all in the same season?
No, I'll
yeah?
tell you the honest truth, right? The very last game I managed, right, was 11 years ago. I was managing Stafford Rangers, and we were away in Ashton, and it was on the 28th of December. And I gave them a cracking team talk, and they were useless, by the way. And I gave them one of the best team talks ever. I felt great. I walked out right. Anyway, we got beat 5-0, and I got a sack a couple of days later, which I wasn't bothered about, trust me. But that night, I was going to Manchester to meet Lindsay, my wife, because I was 50 that day, and we were out in Manchester for a night out.
Yeah.
We were going for a meal at San Carlo. We'd been beaten 5-0, and it was my 50th birthday, and I was sitting there thinking, what am I doing? You know what I mean?
5-0's the right score for 50, isn't it? So at least there was
Oh,
some
was it
symmetry
Norman?
there.
Well, it was actually. I never thought of it that way.
Could have been worse.
But,
You could have been
but thanks for
70,
that, Johnny.
You could have been 70. It could have been worse. couldn't it?
Yeah, hey, we got beat 7-0. I think I haven't had my 50th yet. What's going on?
Thanks again to WCR FM for their studios. We've had a great time recording here this afternoon. Also, if you want to get in touch with the podcast on Instagram, it's at Mutchy and Denno. By email, it's mutchyanddenno@outlook.com. We are on TikTok and Facebook, but our media and marketing manager, Laura, is not around to confirm that. But we are assured we are on those forums as well. So please get in touch. And once again, thanks for listening. And guys, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny.
Cheers, Johnny. Thank you.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
oh, oh, O'Reilly.